What's up, Sagittarius? My Sages. How are y'all doing today? I'm doing just great. It's always better on cold, windy days. Oh my god, I got super. Always better on cold, windy days to have something warm and hot. It like does something to the inside of your body. Maybe it helps with your organs. It helps us grow. I don't know. I always say these readings are timeless, so whenever you hear them, you're meant to hear them, and these are your cards, so please use your intuition when deciphering these messages as well. So, here's the one. Beautiful, bright red, I think of to stop and listen. She has her hands to her ears as she stands poised with one wing up to the heavens and one wing straight across. Perhaps it's damaged or not all the way up. And just because it's damaged doesn't mean it don't work or that it is enough, because this is number 20. You are enough. You were born enough. So we'll read a little passage and we'll have a little discussion, possibly pick a few more cards. This goes to 2, which takes it back to number 2 of the major arcana, which is the High Priestess. So at this time, remember that intuition is hidden, very highlighted, or very important at this time. So throughout life, we grow either toward or away from embodying our spirit self. The direction away from our spirit self is often poorly compensated with a false identity that further weakens our power, our autonomy, and authenticity. Even amongst apparent success, such pretenses further stifle us from within. A life constructed from self-compromise and erasure will shatter from the inside out, much like a mansion built on hollow foundation will crumble. It can be no other way. Like the featured mother, no one deliberately compromises themselves. For most, this is an inherited pattern that results in a mindless reenactment of one's upbringing. Your childhood, an upbringing that included neglect, abuse, or a lack of resources, may not have nurtured a secure sense of self, inherited lovability, appropriate boundaries, and confidence. The featured mother is an example of someone who has not always known her worth or how to live with integrity. Initially, she had no boundaries, no understanding of how to assert them, or her inherent right to have them respected. That's why when I first seen this, I seen like, stop. Like, this is really standing your ground. Like, when you say stop, you better mean it. Or when you say stop, you do mean it. You just be sure that whoever you're talking to understands that you're serious. Be sure they stop. You know what I mean? Tune into an aspect of your life that does not feel right, inspiring, or true to you. The mother asks you to step up and move forward with clarity and a firm commitment to what is right for you and by you. She asks you to identify what is enough for you rather than prioritizing any desires or expectations of the outside world. All that you are, all that you have, and all that you do is enough. It is more than enough. The fact that you breathe is all that is ever required of you. to be enough. So give yourself permission to simply be. If you are tired, do less. If you lack pleasure, well, do more of what brings you joy. You are your spirit self's facilitator, not jailer. Is nothing to add, win, acquire, achieve, to improve in order to be enough. You don't say, oh, well, when I have this, I'll be this. Or when this happens, then this can happen. Now is the time. You are enough now. From this place of inherited enoughness, respect yourself and your eternal right to be all that you are by aligning your thoughts, words, and your actions with your spirit self. So that's what we have to make sure, that whatever we do, say, or think, it aligns with this spirit, your spirit self, God, your higher self, whatever you consider it. But we know that it's very holy, and we know that there are standards, especially when it comes to this this spirit self, or the spirit in general. There is a certain authority, and sticking to this will give you the authority. I mean, you already have it, but something is lacking within, and perhaps it's that you didn't say stop. Perhaps now this is the time where you have to speak up, or, you know, it's time to show them who's boss, Sag. So I figure I'd choose from my very own deck. It is, as we speak, it's an incomplete deck. I don't have all 78 of the cards drawn out, but I do have some. When I went to go get your cards, these were like falling out of the box, and I have a box that's secure, like it has a lock on it. So I don't know how these got open. So this was the message that these wanted to speak to you, Sag. So the first 3 cards, we received Death in reverse, the High Priestess in reverse, and the Hangman in reverse. And I see the 6 of Swords upright. So it seems like if we follow this strict pattern, or this, it's like a roadmap. I see like directions. Like if we follow these directions, it's like step-by-step directions on how to get somewhere or what to do. Perhaps you do get these directions by not following your intuition and being stuck in your ways. It's like not wanting to change, being stuck in your ways, and not listening to yourself, like your inner gut, your intuition. All 3 of these things are what's got you left in the storm. So it's like we have to see things from either another perspective, see things from how somebody else sees them, or see it in a way like see the end result panning out how the spirit would have it. You know what I mean? And like, you know, like I should have listened to myself. I should have listened. I had a feeling. Something was telling me. And you're like, oh, you should have listened. Well, so perspective, intuition, and change is on the highlight of this month for you, Sag. You had a feeling you should have did something, but you didn't do it, and something bad happened. And now you're seeing, like, and that's funny because in the full moon reading, you did get perspective. Your card was perspective. So perhaps that reading gives a little more information about this. Now you're kicking yourself in the ass for not listening. And this reading will give a little more than that one in like talking about spirits and like intuition itself. We don't want to change because you don't want to be uncomfortable. You're comfortable doing what you're doing, even if it hurts you, other people in a certain aspect is off about it, whether it not be healthy, even if there's something that you may be outgrowing this, now's the time to rethink this failing to change. Whatever the case may be, we really gotta go within. There's something hidden that's now going to be exposed. Gonna be like a light bulb that comes on and you're like, oh, like you remember, or possibly something happens, something does occur where it's like, oh, and you finally realize, like, I am enough. And you put, how we were saying in the beginning, you stand your ground. You develop boundaries. You draw boundaries. You do whatever you have to do to make this this change work, because we're failing to make this change. And even though when we do make this change, it'll be uncomfortable because it's something new. Don't you remember how uncomfortable you were in the beginning of this stage? It's like these times, or this struggle, or whatever hump that we have to go through to get to this other side, is not gonna last forever, Sag. It's only temporary. So we have to remember that when we think of like the long run, it's not going to last forever. And soon you're going to be so used to doing this new thing, that's going to become a habit. That's why we want to be aware of what we do and how we do it, especially our body language, what we say, what we do, you know, the things that we do, even our thoughts, Sag. And this is like a collective message. And many other different zodiac signs talked about this this month, about how they're whatever is coming up from the surface, it's emerging, and we're seeing things from a new light. We are changing our actions, our daily routines. We're being more conscious of our habits and the things we do on a daily basis. And we're coming up with a strategy, a pattern, a plan, whether we're writing it down, whatever the case may be, Sag. Whatever we got to do to get us through this is what we got to do. And even if it is like positive, uplifting thoughts, or the tunes, the beats, the vibrations you listen to, what you surround yourself with is going to be very important at this time. Yeah, we want to be sure that we pay attention to our intuition, and we're listening to our inner self, our spirit guides, angels, whatever the case may be. We definitely do not want to ignore that. And we don't want to ignore this this death neither, because unlike the tower, this death is like a very slow changing, like it's a process. It's not like the tower where a lightning bolt comes and strikes it down and now we have a change. No, this is a change that happens like one thing after another after another. And there's a slow process change involved. Well, Here, not only is it a slow process change, but this is slow to process, period. It's like a not wanting to process. So that's why it's very important to listen to our intuition at this time, because that'll lead us in the right direction. That's going to lead us in the way we want to be. We want to be thinking about the long term, the future, and we want to be planning this out, whether it is if we're imagining it, if we're drawing it, if we're cutting out pictures, making a visual board. Something has to be done in order to take steps towards this next stage, Sag. And now is there's no other better time to start than now. So yes, thank you for joining me here on Spread Space. In case I forgot, because I think I did, I forgot to introduce myself. If you don't know, I'm ClairV, the Tarot Queen, and yeah, come back for more. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I thank you for your love, and I appreciate you for being here. Yeah, thank you. Love you. Bye.